Hey guys, welcome to episode 6 of the 2-Minute Warning. I'm Blake Showalter.
And I'm Beto Vacadillas.
And today we're talking about SEMO football first, and we have a very special guest to help us out today. Starting quarterback for SEMO, our SEMO Redhawks, Paxton DeLaurent. How are you doing, man?
Doing great. How y'all doing?
Doing pretty good, man. Real quick, we just want to start off. Couple tough losses in the past couple of games, obviously, like that. Really close games coming down to the wire. How are you guys taking this bye week to really just resettle, regroup, and hopefully just really just take control of Central Arkansas this weekend?
Yeah, I know during the bye week, we actually took a lot of time off, so guys got away. But I know the offense, we came together and we just had like a meeting without coaches, and we just kind of had a come together heart moment. Like these seniors, all these guys that have committed, 5-6 years to this program, like this is their last opportunity, and we got to make sure we send them off the right way. And we cannot have a lack of effort or preparation. Like things that we can control, we got to make sure we're controlling them. So I think the team is moving forward, and maybe something that we actually needed.
Gotcha. And looking at Central Arkansas this weekend, what do you look for in their defense, just specifically as a quarterback? What are you looking to, well, maybe not talk about it too close yet because it's coming up, obviously, but just looking at their defense, what do you kind of see as far as vulnerabilities goes? Where do you guys think that you guys can really shine as an offense in this upcoming game?
I think they're like top 10 in the nation with stopping the run. They got, defensive end that was second in defensive player of the year last year voting. Like he's a real deal. They got some linebackers that are new, and we think that might be an opportunity. But they got a very stout D line, and their DBs they play a lot of quarters, so they keep their guys one-on-one on the outside. So we have very good receivers. So we hope our guys are going to make plays doing that. But they're a very talented defense.
Gotcha. And we talked a little bit. We're at the post-game press conferences every once in a while, so we have to ask you some questions there, just about finishing games. How do you look at that as a quarterback, as the leader of the football team, just being able to go out there and just put together complete football games and finish things out?
I think it comes down to what our identity is. Are we going to be a team that can run the ball at the end of the game and just get first downs and milk the clock? Or are we a team that needs to continue attack? And I think our defense will come around and, play big for us late in the season. But offensively, we just need to figure out what our identity is. Are we going to be able to run and get 2 hard first downs and make them use their timeouts? Or are we going to attack? And I think those questions, were answered, and you guys will get to see that, on Saturday if we have another close game. What our answers are to that. But ultimately, with my fumble last week and Gino's the week before, those are inexcusable errors and something that at the very least we should have went to overtime. Last week against EKU, 38-38 with 30 seconds. And then the week before, at the very least, we should have punted and trusted our defense to get a stop, farther down the field. So both of those, we're guys that have played a lot of football, and we just got to make sure we're taking care of the ball and, really locked in. I think we both had 2 hands on the ball. Everything they teach, just, unforced errors. So we got to make sure we take care of that.
Yeah, obviously stuff happens like that. We were there for that game. I felt like we were dominating pretty much until we weren't, But, Central Arkansas, we're expected to win that game, I think. Obviously, we're always expecting us to win, obviously, like that. We're always rooting for you guys. But real quick, I know you want to ask some questions about your background and stuff like that, so go ahead, Beto. I'll let you take over.
Yeah, of course. So, first of all, again, thanks for doing this so much. You did play for Central Methodist University before coming to SEMO, and you earned a lot of honors there, earning all conference honors, and was our top rusher. What was it about SEMO that separated us from the rest of the schools in terms of deciding where you were going to continue your athletic career?
Yeah, so my recruiting was definitely a crazy recruiting trail. At the NAIA, you're not allowed to be in the transfer portal, like that NCAA transfer portal, because you're a different affiliate. So that was, already a harder task. So I was just sending emails. My mom, she worked so hard. We found emails to every single coach on every single FBS and FCS roster. We sent over 650 emails of my highlight film and a crafted message where we just inserted, their name, their school name into certain areas, but kind of to highlight who I was. But it really came down to SEMO in Northern Colorado. And I just really felt like that's where God intended me to go. And my faith was a big part of it. Obviously coming out of high school, I didn't want to go play NAIA football. I thought I was better than that, but I think that was a very humbling experience. And it's really where I found my faith to make it my own. You grow up in high school and, you're kind of doing it with your parents, but that's where I, found my own faith genuinely. So I'm super blessed of my process, and I'm glad I'm a Redhawk.
We are too, man. Shoot, you're killing it right now. So we are definitely glad about that. I'm kind of curious, just knowing Coach Took and the way he is. What was he like during the recruiting process? I love him. I think he's a high-energy guy, and obviously the team does too. But curious to see how he's like during that process.
It's about to be even crazier. So on a Thursday, my mom, we had my top 5 schools that I wanted to go to, and we wrote a handwritten letter. I kind of like sent her the message. I was at school, and she hand wrote these letters. I didn't know that she was going to do that. I thought she was just going to print it out and send it, but she hand wrote it, sent it to, what we thought was maybe the head coach's home address. Ended up at Coach Tukes. He opens it. Coach Tuke opens the thing and reads about me and was really curious. He watched my film that night, said he was impressed, called me on the phone. I talked to him for 50 minutes while I was at Central Methodist. Like, I'm around all my other teammates. I get the phone call and they're like, oh, no, like, he's not leaving, like yelling at the table. It's funny. So I had to get up and leave at the cafeteria and went outside and talked to him for 50 minutes. And then on Friday, me and my parents were on our way to SEMO for my official visit. So it was about a 12-hour turnaround. I got up there, met the coaches. They offered me a full ride Saturday morning, and I really felt like I wanted to make a decision right around that time. Like, I was probably getting ready just to choose Northern Colorado because that was about my only opportunity to play at Division I level. And then when SEMO, came in, it was nice. It's at home. I'm a Missouri guy, and it's close where my family can still see games. And I really felt like it was an opportunity to start right away and to be on a good team. So Coach Tuke, during the recruiting process, I got a small glimpse of him. He just wanted to know who I was, but he's a great guy. I know his Christian background, and he had a hardship getting through his home life with his family. So it was really cool to hear that from him, and him be so open and authentic. So I would say he's just a very honest, authentic, and passionate person, and that's all you can ask for.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. And then real quick, you talk about how talented the team was when you were coming on, and how that was one of the factors that made you want to come here, of course. I want to just know what you think. I'm sure it's very high praise. Just what you think of Ryan Flournoy, guys like Geno Hess, who are possibly projected to even go draft in the NFL, or at least get signed after the draft, or maybe XFL or something like that. So just real quick, what do you have to say about those guys in particular, or any other guys that we might be leaving out?
Yeah, Ryan Flournoy, I mean, he is everything that I think the NFL would want. He's physically, gifted. He is mentally, this is his passion. Like, twice a week, we're watching extra film together, and we're going to cryotherapy. Like, he's getting his body right. He goes to bed at like 9 every single night, gets up early. He used to walk and run to campus. Like, bro doesn't even have a car right now. He is 100% committed to this, like, to his dreams, his goals. Like, he's wanted to play in the NFL. So it's even more than just his athletic and physical ability. He's the type of guy that deserves to go to the NFL. And then Geno Hess, of course, like, probably one of my favorite teammates. Just funny. He's just a heartwarming guy. Like, after the fumble, he reached out to me and sent me a really good message, and then talked to me in person. Like, he's someone that doesn't get a lot of credit for being like a genuine, like, get down and care for other people, because he kind of is like, he's the Hess Express. He is the franchise, Mr. SEMO, and kind of always joking around, but he's a great guy and obviously a great ball player as well. And then DeMaurier Vick, I mean, he's really shined this year. I know he's had, NFL scouts talk to him. He was it kind of goes crazy all the way back to him, because when I actually out of high school, I committed to Missouri State, and I was going to go up there, and I actually went up there for like 2 months before my clock started in the summer, because I was a walk-on, so I was able to leave. And Vic was actually like kind of like a mentor for me there. And then now we're here, and I'm a captain, and throwing him the ball. So it's just crazy how that went full circle. And he's someone that works very hard. He's kind of a technical route runner, like someone that likes to do cone drills and stuff like that. I think he'll get a great shot. As well as the NFL or maybe the XFL or USFL, something like that, because he has the physical ability, and he has that team character. Like, he's asked to block 100 times, he's going to do it. If he's asked to go make every play, he's going to do it. So I think all 3 of those guys on our offense will get a great opportunity to play.
Yeah, not saying that he wasn't already killing it, but he just stepped up in a major way since Ryan's went down. I mean, we can't say enough about him. I mean, 2 touchdowns in his last game, looked absolutely incredible. Probably should have been 3, but that was kind of a bogus call in my opinion. But, yeah, absolutely great stuff from him, man. Do you have anything else you want to?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the offense last year, you guys scored 35 and like a half points per game on average. And it showed, like, in volume how sharp the offense was, and obviously delivering you guys an OVC championship. What was the experience like, not only winning the OVC, but getting the chance to play in FCS playoffs?
I mean, that's everything you dream of. I've been fortunate enough in my life, like, I just now hit double-digit losses now that I'm 1-3 this year. That was my 11th loss of my career. I went to the playoffs, but I've never won like a state or national championship, but I've always made playoff runs and won conferences. So it's kind of a unique, like thing where you're gratified and you feel great in the moment, but like, everyone wants to win the natty. And I know like I'm not very, happy with a first round exit or anything like that. So I think it's big time and you feel really great about accomplishing the mission. But what's kind of, I guess I've learned this year is it's not automatic. It's not guaranteed. Like my whole life, it's been like, man, 11-2, 12-1, 9-2, 9-2. Like you've had great years. And right now we're 1-3 and we're having to crawl for it. So it's made me just realize how like much those moments do mean, and that we're going to do everything possible to make sure that SEMO has that again this year. So
yeah. So just going back to expectations for the season, I know you touched on it. You guys want to give everything. Realistically, what are your expectations for the season? I know you mentioned the first round exit. What are you guys looking for in FCS playoffs, especially? Because, I mean, I don't want to say OVC is in the bag. There's a lot of good teams, a lot of hard games in there, but I do think you guys will have a very good run in the OVC.
yeah, I think if you would ask me this 4 weeks ago, I might have given you, a bigger answer. But we're 1-3 right now, so I don't even want to, put that in the air. Right now, we got to just get a win. Like we got to win against Central Arkansas and prove to ourselves, prove to this team, and prove to the country that we are a team that deserved all the hype at the beginning of the year, and we're very talented, and we can put a complete 4-quarter game together. So, talking about the playoffs seems far-fetched, and I don't want to get to that point because we're about one game away from going home and being embarrassed that we were ranked in the top 15 preseason.
Yeah, I'm just talking about that a little bit. First time being unranked since I don't think we've been unranked since I've been at SEMO before. Yeah. How have you guys as a team? You guys talked about just taking some time off, regrouping a little bit, but how as a team have you guys taken that? Has it just been extra motivation to go out there and just kind of put it on Central Arkansas this week?
Yeah, I think exactly what you said. Like we understand, where we're at, and this team is hungry and ready. And this is the most physical I've ever seen practice. I mean, we went full pads twice this week already. We got after it. We hit, and people are angry and mad, and we got to prove to a lot of people. But this game is one of those that you can't fall apart if it's back and forth at the beginning. Like I know we have a great game plan and guys are angry and we feel like we're going to go out here and dominate because we've had a week off, we're fresh, but I think we got to be ready for a ball game because they're a very good team too. I mean, they're ranked in the top 25. They got a lot of aspirations. They're an older team. They got their offense. They got a 6-year quarterback. They got a running back that was, I think, number 1 in yards last year, the one that beat Gino for yards. I mean, he's elite.
Gotcha. Well, we really appreciate you coming on the show today. Also, thanks for following us, by the way. So you're following us on Instagram. Appreciate that. We'll be out there for Central Arkansas, get some content out there as well. But thank you so much for your time, man. Good luck this season and keep on killing it, man.
Thank you. All right, God bless.
Thanks, man. Hopefully he can show out this weekend, right?
I know. I'm excited for it. It's going to be a great game.
Maybe we're like good luck every single time a player comes on the show. They start playing really well or something like that, and then we can get even more people on. But
even Brady Barkey got promoted right after our show.
That's what I'm saying, man. Brady Barkey got promoted after our show. But you know
athletes,
what?
Please come on.
Yeah, athletes, please come on. Honestly, it's come on. Anyway, but you know what? We're talking about Paxton, college quarterback, playing really well. Maybe one day we'll talk about maybe goes to the NFL draft. But real quick, a little segue here. Of course, we're talking about the NFL once again, of course. Let's talk about the rookie quarterbacks right now. Got some surprises, in my opinion. C.J. Stroud balling out more than I even ever expected to. Anthony Richardson kind of answered my questions, and I think he's a franchise guy. Really, really good. And then the guy that everybody thought was going to be at least average, if not good, Bryce Young. He's been playing far below average. So what do you think, man?
I mean, if you look at the quarterbacks now, I know we talk about, give a rookie a little bit of time, C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson look NFL ready.
They do.
They look insane. Seeing C.J. Stroud go out there, and everyone was worried about his passing, his mentality, scoring low on the test. I can't remember what it's called, but you know what it is.
Yeah, it was like the
quarterback guy.
If you're dumb or not test. I don't know.
Basically. He's thrown...
Not saying he's dumb.
Yeah.
Not saying he's dumb.
He's thrown 6 touchdowns and no interceptions. No rookie has ever done that before through their first 4 games. I am very, very, very impressed by C.J. Stroud.
And not only is he doing this, but he's doing this with a subpar roster, in my opinion. I love Nico Collins. Tank Dell's been balling out. But you know what? They're not superstar X-Factor players, dude. Patrick Mahomes came in with some absolute superstars. That's one of the reasons why he played so well. Drew Brees had a bunch of dogs on his team when he was a rookie. Peyton Manning had dogs on his team. He's doing this. C.J. Stroud, that is. He's doing this with, in my opinion, again, no disrespect being thrown here. It's just the way I see it. B-minus players around him. So I am beyond impressed. I think after this draft class, I think if I am the Texans, I'm saying we got to get our hands on the best wide receiver we possibly can. Maybe make some moves in free agency. There's some disgruntled wide receivers out there, such as Devontae Adams and apparently DJ Moore already. So maybe make some moves on those guys as well, and you might just have an absolute elite quarterback for years to come.
Yeah, it's so nice seeing the Texans good again. I mean, for the last few years, they've been nothing but just bullied, especially in the division they're in. It's just tough to be around a Texan fan right now. But, man, C.J. Stroud's come in and give him so much life. And it's same with Anthony Richardson watching the Colts last year. Really, really disappointing to be a Colts fan last year.
Yeah.
And especially with the drama going on with Jonathan Taylor, everyone was worried about him this year, but Anthony Richardson has come and give them life. And like you mentioned before, it's Bryce Young we're waiting on now. I don't know what it is, whether it be because I know he got hurt, his ankle injury, or a lack of weapons around him. He does have Adam Thielen.
I think his team sucks.
You know what?
Sorry. when Adam Thielen's your best wide receiver, you're going to be in trouble. It kind of reminds me of Sam Darnold a little bit when he had no wide receivers around him except for now called Chosen Anderson. I mean, that's all he had, and he only has Adam Thielen. And as soon as you start double teaming Adam Thielen, who's he got? He can't just throw it down to the flat to Chuba Hubbard all game long or Miles Sanders all game long. Miles Sanders is on my fantasy team. I know he's not playing very well. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does for the rest of the year. But you know what? Let's talk about the NFL a little bit more because another quarterback who lost to your Chiefs, but showed me immense levels of hope, Beto. Immense levels of hope. I would even say balled out a little bit. Zachary Capono-Wilson. Oh my goodness gracious, did he look good, Beto? How did it feel watching the Storm and Mormon just totally dismantle your team?
I'm not gonna lie, I was very nervous going into that fourth quarter. Seeing Mahomes get surrounded in the pocket multiple times. D-line still good. The Jets defense is very solid. I was a little bit worried, especially in that fourth quarter, only up by 3. But then Mahomes comes down the field, slides, ends the game. But out of that, I think I agree with you that Zach Wilson looked really good. He balled out.
Yeah.
And fun fact, this is the only time Patrick Mahomes has ever been played in his quarterback career in high school, college, or in the NFL.
Outplayed by none other than Zachary Capono-Wilson.
Who would have thought?
The playbook of Mormon, baby. The playbook of Mormon. And he looked good, in my opinion. I think he's going to have an absolutely amazing game against Denver. Unfortunately for Zach Wilson, and this is going to go down in history as one of the best dynasties to ever live, Beto. No team has ever lost to the Chiefs and the refs. It's never been done before. It's never been done before. And that was proof that I don't think this is going to change anytime soon. But moving on, let's talk a little about this upcoming week. Some great games coming up, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you just look at the schedule, there's a ton of good stuff going around. I think the Bengals and the Cardinals might be a sneaky good game.
I think it will be a sneaky game. It's kind of a trash bowl, in my opinion. But, Joshua Dobbs, I think, is actually outplaying Joe Burrow right now. Who would have thought I would be saying that? But,
yeah, absolutely wild.
Joe Burrow openly talking about how he's talking to Aaron Rodgers about his calf injury and stuff like that, trying to get as much help as he possibly can. If I'm their head coach, I'm saying, dude, sit out for 3 weeks. Because the best case scenario that happens with the Bengals right now, they go what? 1-2, maybe 2-1 if you get a little lucky. Joe Burrow's still not feeling 100%, obviously, and I just don't think that's the way to go, in my opinion. And I love Joe Burrow. He's a dog, but he's not playing like he should be. He's playing like a subpar quarterback right now, and it's all because of that calf injury. And it's gonna only harm the Bengals if he's gonna stay in the lineup any longer.
Some other games to look at, definitely one in terms of offensive explosion is Chiefs versus Vikings. The Vikings have a little bit down, but they do have always Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson having a great connection, and their wide receiver core with Hawkinson and Jordan Addison, really, 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 really good. But I think the game of the week has to go to Sunday Night Football, Cowboys and Niners.
Going to be a great game.
Straight up, the best defenses in the NL, and
in the league.
Great offenses behind them. And I mean, like, if you look at the way that they're running the ball with the Niners, Christian McCaffrey is an absolute freak.
And Kyle Shanahan is utilizing him better than I've ever seen Christian McCaffrey utilized because he's not going to get hurt. He's utilizing him perfectly as a receiving back and a running back. It's perfect. He's the best in the league right now for a reason, and a big reason for that is Kyle Shanahan. Brock Purdy's just doing his thing. I think the Niners are going to win this game.
I agree. I mean, if you just look at the way that they've been playing in the last few games, just steamrolling teams on both sides of the field, offense and on defense. And like you said, Brock Purdy is in there doing his thing. It's not only Christian McCaffrey who's doing well in this team. Granted, he's the biggest factor. But their offense in the passing game looks good. Their defense looks great. McCaffrey, MVP candidate.
MVP candidate
has to be.
Wholeheartedly agree. Especially because not a lot of great quarterback play out right now. Not really as we've seen in past years. I mean, honestly, look at the stats right now. There's not anybody really standing out, just really shocking anybody right now. So, yeah, I think Christian McCaffrey's a clear cut for MVP, or at the moment at least. It's only, week 5? So, can't really say too much right now. Week 4, rather, sorry. Jeez, I can't count the 4. Jeez. Well, but anyway, that's all I have for this episode, man. Anything else?
I'm all good here.
Well, I'm Blake Showalter.
And I'm Beto Diaz.
Make sure to go check out volleyball tonight. By the time this video comes out, it'll be about 5 o'clock. So, volleyball should be played in about an hour. So, go check out that real quick. Also, we got softball now coming out this weekend. And, of course, if you can't make it out to Central Arkansas, which I guess we can give you a pass, if you don't want to drive 5 hours like we are, that's fine. Make sure to watch it on ESPN+. Going to be there, and it's at 4 o'clock, I believe. 4 o'clock. Yeah. So make sure to watch that game, guys. Thanks for watching. Also, thank you so much to Paxton for coming on the show today. Hopefully we can have you on again. Also, any other athletes you're seeing that are interested, please reach out, or we're going to probably reach out to you, to be honest. But we'd love to have you on. Also, coming out this week is our first episode of Game Time.
Excited for this one.
Really excited for this one as well. Be sure to watch that. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you guys next time.